Yo, Mark. What up, homie? Slowpoke. Mark beat ya. I have to sleeve up and pack up these from that amazing break the other night. You know what I mean? Happy Friday indeed. That's the proper word. That is the proper word, Mark. Right. Charles, check your DMs. Slowpoke, are you working? You want to come on? You working, Slowpoke? I have to sleeve up so many fucking cards. It's crazy. Okay. Understood. But listen, like I could get a call from work right now too. Chelsea might come on and she's got the babies. So like, what up, Kate Coles? Mark, you want to hop on? Let's hop on. Who wants to come on and hang? See, you know, like Chelsea babies, they may need attention. Hop off for a second. So anyone who wants, Mark's coming on. Let's go.
Listen, this is the first time I'm realizing I've looked at my face today. So
woof.
I know. I just realized. I was like, oh my God.
I haven't even looked yet because the screen is blocked by the invite. I just, you know, when you've told me we got to do something about my face enough, I stopped caring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I still care.
No. I mean, like I stopped caring about possibly insulting you.
Oh, okay.
About your face when you've clearly didn't care.
That's not true. You stopped caring when you met me.
No, that's not true. It was shortly after. I start every relationship with respect.
Yeah, okay.
So that first stream you were on, where I didn't know you, I was not like that. It was once I like got to know you that I stopped caring. Is that rude too?
We were all a little bit different that first stream. Things have changed since then.
I know. I went back because I wanted to see. We're coming up on my 1 year anniversary of starting to live stream. It's the end of this. It's the end of this month.
What are we doing for it?
I don't know. I just kind of had that realization yesterday when when I was like, it's gonna be March. Wait, my first stream was the end of March. What up, Mark?
Hey guys.
Mark.
Happy Friday.
Phone. I can't see the chat. So if anyone is saying anything, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see anything.
Where is Rob? He's teaching, I assume.
Yes, Rob is back at school after we all battled our second round of the stomach bug in 1 month, which, by the way, should be illegal. Like, that should not be allowed.
No, it should not.
So he's finally, my kid was out again for 4 days this week, and then Rob took off, I think, like 2 or 3 days or something crazy. So he's back today. Today's our day where I feel like everything's coming back to life.
I mean,
minus this, but
Rob has the link because I sent it into the group chat. Maybe he can go live while teaching. We can all learn something.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Rob's teaching a class. I don't even think he understands.
What subject is it first before you say that?
That's true.
It's like, I don't even know. It's like media technologies. I don't know the official term for it. Like one day he's like, yeah, I'm teaching the kids robotics today. I'm like, do you even know robotics? Like, nope.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's special elective at their age. It's for
What age?
middle school. So
Okay.
I think it's fifth.
I don't think we had that when I was in that age.
Definitely not.
Yeah, he was talking to him about AI. He's like, I just got to find stuff to teach these kids. And he teaches half the year school, literally 4 minutes from us, and half at a middle school, like 12 minutes away. And so the first half, the kids just didn't care. I could teach them whatever. He's like, this half, the kids like care and they want to learn. I'm like, oh, you're in trouble. Yeah. So he's like actually working. If he could go back and do it all over again, teacher. So anyone out there who's thinking of becoming a teacher, PE all the way. All the way.
I always thought that would be the best job.
You don't have to do like any of the extra politics, but you get the exact salary.
I don't know what's going on with your mic, but you cut out every few words.
Really?
Yep.
Man, that's annoying for you guys.
Look at Jay's in the chat, and he said he's driving on the Pennsylvania Turnpike listening.
Oh,
So think about that. All he's doing is hearing, and he's hearing your terrible mic.
wow. Okay, maybe it's my TV. Let me mute it.
Plus, you're in portrait, which is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Just
I am a sleeving machine right now. I am at a record pace, and I just happen to sleeve the catfish. Just so. But I am like, speaking of robotics, it's just like you can't even stop the train right now.
let's go. So, Tom, I was thinking about what I should be doing tonight. I'm gonna do Monopoly.
To the Monopoly.
Which this has not been released yet. This is literally just business talk with you. So anyone who's on here is listening to our business talk as I figure my life out. I'm gonna do Monopoly.
Okay.
Which always slaps because I'm always
It's fun. And you charge nothing and you give everything away. So why wouldn't it slap?
exactly it slaps. Oh no, that's like I'm trying to put you guys in like a baby toy and that's not working. Okay, there we go. Nope. And then I'm gonna do a trivia game, which is a game within a game. Okay, if anyone's played it. So
I should listen to you when you say you can't stream.
He's like, just come on, it's fine. We need to show real life. I'm like, okay.
There's nothing,
Your real life stresses me out.
nothing more real than 2 kids, right?
You and Rob have the 2 jobs I am least built for.
I don't know how he teaches. It's like I watch.
Teaching and momming. Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I like the, but the teaching part. Like, I'm good with my kids. I don't like other kids. So
That's why momming is the second to last, or parenting is the second to last job I'm built for. Stay-at-home parenting. Second to last. Last is teaching.
forget it. Plus, like the roots are like pretty thick.
But,
The air.
ooh, ah, e.
Is it that bad?
Yes!
It's every other word.
It's every other word. Mark is in a warehouse in Canada, and he has better sound than you.
Oh no. Maybe I need headphones. At least I don't have that.
So, Mark, tell me what I'm seeing. So you own a business. It has a warehouse. Sorry, Chelsea. We'll get back to it, but I literally need to hear it in order to have a conversation. So Mark, you have your own business. What am I looking at behind you? Because you recently said you need a bigger warehouse, which is, I assume, awesome because then you have more stuff that you're selling. But what tell us about it.
Yeah, so we sell motorcycle apparel. So like jacket, pants, gloves. We're all about safety. We gear more towards like adventure riding. But yeah, we started our business about 4 years ago, and it's growing and growing and growing. And I need more space. I have a big shipment coming in next week that I'll be out of room real quick.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So funny because like me and Jay have talked about like we need a warehouse because like we need studio space, we need all the stuff, and he's gone, and I'm getting a call. So Chelsea, you're up.
Wow. Okay. And I don't see Mark anymore. This is fun. I wasn't supposed to be on today, so that's cool. I don't know if any of you can hear me. But how you doing? I can't see the chat, so this is even more awkward. So tonight I'm gonna do Monopoly. Mark has a really cool sick business. Yeah. Oh, so Blook It. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's this really cool game called Blook It, and there's different versions of it. Think of like tower defense, but in order to either defend or attack, you have to answer trivia questions correctly. So it's a ton of fun. There's also like a fun fake crypto one where you get to steal people's crypto. It's a lot of good stuff. So I wish I could see. Oh, wait, chat, comments. Oh, I can see. Yay. Okay, I can see the comments now. Okay. So, if y'all can hear me, let me know. So, or if I'm still like a robot, let me know. So I'm gonna do that tonight, and yeah, you can hear me. It's just Tom. It's when Tom's here. That's what it's about. So I'm going to do that tonight. Jay's going to put spots up on the site for Monopoly. We're starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. I know Josh has something going on starting at 6. So come and pop over around 9. We're going to do Monopoly. And then at 10 o'clock exactly p.m. Eastern, we're going to start the Blook It. It's not going to be long. Rob will be there. We're going to start the Blook It. And we're going to have first, second, and third place prizes. And I didn't talk about this with Tom or Jay, but I'm pretty sure first place I'm going to have fuck glasses, which I didn't tell them. I know, Slowpoke. It's okay. It's okay. I know you're there in spirit. And I love that you do that with your sister. I think that's just the freaking cutest thing in the whole entire world. I have zero relationship with my brother, so that warms my heart so much. I know. Maybe I shouldn't tell them. Maybe they should just find out because they might actually talk me out of it. Because Jay sent me 2. I kept 1. I think 1 was supposed to be for Rob, but no. We're going to do that, I think, as like the first place prize, which those classes are expensive. So I was like, ooh, this would be kind of fun. So I think that I've got a couple of slabs that Jay sent me, including a ninja. Wait. I might have made that up. I don't think there's a ninja. No, that's not true. There's something else, though. And it's a top character. I know there's a slabbed heart trooper, and I forget. But he sent me... No, Curry, you're right. You're right. It really is easier to apologize because what will be done will be done, and then you guys will just be happy, and then they can't be mad. So I've got some slabs up and stuff, and I have the glasses that will be for first place, and so there'll be first, second, and third place prizes for Blook It. I'm just not sure if it's going to be like a 1 Blook It or like 3 Blook Its and then the total out of all of them, which we might do because I think that would be fun and they're kind of quick. So I think we might do 3 back to back to back, and then it will just be like, so if you buy a spot, you get in. If you buy a spot, you get a link sent to you to get in on the Blook It. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. So that's going to be tonight. You should see the way this baby's looking at me. I don't think I can turn my camera around. Guys, I'm really not that savvy. Hold on. Cam. Nope. That didn't work. Hold on. Bloop. Say hi. Tom, by the way, everybody can hear me.
You heard me?
No, everyone could hear me just fine.
Oh, I was like, if you could hear me, I'm so sorry because you had to hear that horrible conversation. But this is real life, right? That was my employee. The only time I don't hear you is when there's other sound that kind of like talks over it. So when you were talking by yourself, if Mark wasn't up and I was muted, it makes sense that everyone could hear you.
Got it.
So
basically, it's like know your place, Chelsea.
that's not at all what it is. That's not at all what it is.
Okay.
Okay, but it's fine. So that conversation, that was my lead tech, my manager. He's on a job right now where it's a one day, 1 bedroom apartment clean out. The guy there, suffers from alcoholism or something, and he let the house kind of go to squalor, right? So but I didn't actually go and do the estimate or a walkthrough. I got sent pictures. So a lot of the times when it's that small of a thing, and if it's like an hour away from me, I won't go and do an estimate, like a walkthrough. Cause I'm like, it's 2 rooms. It's the kitchen, the bathroom, kitchen, the living room, and a hallway. We're not doing the bedroom or the bathroom. So I'm like, I don't need to drive 2 hours round trip to see that. Send me a couple pictures. He did. And it's got some stuff, but a lot of it was already bagged. I love seeing that because we just have to pick it up and take it. My tech goes, yeah, so they have an infestation. A lot of those trash bags are chewed through. And when we lifted it up, mice ran out and ran everywhere.
Nope.
And then he's like, and we're like, sometimes if there's a window that we can, if it's on like the 3rd floor or 2nd floor, usually not 3rd floor, we'll walk it down. But if it's 2nd floor and it's fine, we'll drop bags out the window to someone down. He goes, we drop bags, it hit the ground and mice ran out outside. And he goes, so we have to rebag it all because the stuff could fall out. But he's like, so we're going to have to take it to the landfill today because I don't want to put it in the truck and then leave it. And then mice get loose in the truck. So he's like, because we're rebagging it in our like contractor grade bags, but we need to dump it today so that we don't create a mouse nest in our truck. Good morning, Jonathan. Just what you wanted to join to hear, right?
None of that is okay.
That's par for the course. I was laughing. That's why I was just like, if you had to hear that, I'm sorry. So who are you holding? Well, there's 2 of them, and they have different names. So I know you're looking because you don't know. That's why you're looking.
I'm holding Theo.
Okay. He's so cute.
He's the only one that did not get the stomach bug.
Is it Theodore?
No.
What is it?
Theo.
That's literally legal name. Got it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we did 4 names for everyone. So it's Finn, Theo, Noah.
Got it. 4 letter, not 4 word.
Yeah, sorry. Mom brain coming off the stomach bug.
And that's why you're Chelsea.
And just.
That's 5.
Sure.
It's 5 anyway.
5.
Yeah, that's 5.
Yeah.
Why the 4 letter? Is that a thing? Or you're just like, let's go with it?
Yeah, no, we just said, let's go with it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get asked, is that a nickname a lot? So I'm sorry to be like everyone else.
No, it's fine. We do get asked if it's Theodore all the time. And same with Finn. People ask if it's like
Finley.
Finnegan or, yeah. Nope, just Finn.
Such an Irish name, right?
It is. Well, Rob is my little Irish Jew. You should see him when like Irish
I have seen him.
It's almost like he gets a little jig in his step. He gets a little like peppy and
when he hears music?
When like Irish music turns on.
Oh, when he hears the what's that? The fiddle?
Sure.
Has he been to Ireland?
No, and I was like, we have to go visit the land of your people.
It's amazing.
Oh, you've been?
I have. My wife is very Irish. Well, she's half Irish, half Italian, but she looks like she has no Italian at all. Blonde hair, blue eye, all that. So she studied there and lived there for a year. And when her brother studied abroad there, we went for like 10 days and we brought my son. He was 1 at the time. That was interesting. But we did Dublin, and then we went across the whole country by bus. Like we had a private bus for the whole family, and it was pretty incredible.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I'll have to see pictures. Send me them, please.
Nah.
Yeah.
My favorite. Western Ireland was by far my favorite. Like not even close. Dublin I could never go to again, and that's fine. But Dingle was my favorite, and then Galway is another obviously very popular spot, and I see why.
That's awesome. I've only ever done, besides like Ireland and stuff, I've only ever done Switzerland. Like, actually, is that all I've done in Europe? Yeah, that's it. Just Switzerland. Oh no, I've done, but that was lame.
What part of Switzerland?
Zurich. Yeah, we did some Swiss Alps. My mom's business is headquartered there, so
That's awesome.
her and her husband had to go there for a business trip, and they decided to take the kids with, so that was fun.
I've been there too because I couldn't study abroad. So when I was in college, I entered as a bio major because I wanted to be a doctor like my dad. And then can you imagine that?
Oh,
That didn't work out.
Wow.
So I was a bio major for 1 year, and my favorite class in high school was chemistry. So I was even thinking like pharmacist, and I worked at a pharmacy to see if I would like it. And it was okay. You know, it seemed kind of boring to work in the same like store every day. But organic chem is what broke it for me in college. So then I switched to business. And because I was behind on credits, I could not study abroad because you need to like save electives and shit for when you go abroad. But my senior year, there was a international marketing class, and we only met 3 times that semester. And then we did 2 weeks in Europe, and we went to 5 different countries or something like that. And Switzerland was one of them. Is Lucerne in Switzerland? That's
Yep.
Lucerne.
That's
Is that what you said?
Bridge.
No, you said Zurich.
Yeah, I did Lucerne too, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the one with the bridge, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. So that was pretty awesome.
I just love that everywhere is literally like a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
And it's so nice. Like you could just take the train into Italy for the day. You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It
That's
is. I mean,
and just do that. You can take a train, go visit another country, and be there in like an hour, right? Like that's
yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about like the US is huge, right? But if the states were different countries, you could essentially do the same thing.
True.
And there's so much to see in the US that like you don't have to go to Europe to see some awesome shit. But it is awesome that it's all like kind of interconnected, and you can, it's just so easy. And like even jumper flights are they're cheap,
Yep.
that you can just hop on and be there, like you said, for a day trip. It's pretty awesome. Where like the thought of me hopping on a train and going to New York for just the day, which makes sense because it's only a 2-hour train ride for me. I go, oh, who would want to do that in one day? I don't know why that's like different if I'm in France and I want to go to Italy for a day.
Because it's totally different.
Keiko's, I know it's a funny name, and there was lots of jokes about Dingle. It is my favorite because it's like a little fishing town, and that's where like you go into the pub and there's the guy playing like the music about like heartbreak or like whatever they, the sing, I don't even know what they're singing about. But it's just like right out of a movie. That was the best. Plus the best fish and chips. I had fish and chips everywhere I went, and that was where the best one was.
I think that would be one piece of advice that I gave to anyone. First of all, I don't my first advice would be don't go to college. But my second piece of advice is if you do go, study abroad.
I 100% agree with the second part. I wouldn't say don't go to college. It depends on the situation, obviously, right? But if you go to college for thinking you're going to get an amazing career in a specific like business or like, corporate job, then maybe reconsider. But, if you want to be a doctor, you should go to college.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you want to do, because I know a lot of people that have gone to school, spent tons of money, lots of years, and then they don't even their job they went to school like wasted a lot of money and time.
Yeah, I mean, I went to college and I now clean up crime scenes and mouse-filled bags of trash. But I guess you could say like business school, and I own the business, but it has nothing to do with what I learned in college. I could have not gone to college and done this. But like, to me, my parents did help out with college. I had student loans, but they helped out. So that was like, okay, if your parents are insistent on you going and you can get for, because I also had the most fun I've ever had in college. So in that sense, I think it's kind of nice to go from high school right into a full-time job. Also is not highly recommended. I think, you should go out and, have that fun time, but career-wise, it's not needed anymore.
Yeah.
And I like that the world is moving towards that, because it felt like a cash grab, and it still does. And it's the fact that it's still getting more expensive and more people are understanding it. There's going to be like a reckoning. There's going to be a shift. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's going to be a big shift in public education in general too. So
100%.
Slowly, but takes time. Education's just really behind, and it's always been really behind. So it takes a long time to fix something that's broken.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Out of high school, people need life experience more than anything. So I think if anything, they should be paying for trips to go have those life lessons away. So,
I agree. I can get behind that.
yeah.
All right. So now I have to separate. Mark, you had spot number 7. You didn't. I mean, obviously, I don't think anyone made their money back. I'll see at the end. But because now I just sleeved up all 4 boxes from that break, and now I got to separate them by number.
What was
I know. What's that? The 4-box break with the second digit?
Got it.
Yeah.
Went well.
Well, I mean, yes, unfortunately the cards weren't there. Not even one box like saved it. You know what I mean? So we'll see how everyone did based on when I separate it. But, I saw a couple like wolves sleeved up, and that would be you, Mark. So that's we're gonna see who did okay. But yeah, the cards were not hitting.
Look at you sitting up at the cell. Yeah. Okay. This guy is here with a pack of laughs. I kid you not.
What's that?
Guy's crawling over here with a pack of laughs.
Whoever had the 6 spot. I think 6 spot's the worst one, right? Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I had the 6th spot on the Fanatics one, so I know I didn't do well there.
I mean, I'm halfway through one box, and it's the only one that doesn't have a card right now. Who had it? Danucci. Oh yeah, he let me know that it was not a great break. In a nice way, because he's the man. But it's got to be, because there's no tier 1s. And it's a low amount of characters. Some they have like Gary B and the Meerkat. Like there are some good characters there. The Crane, but there we go. First one. But yeah, I mean,
unless you see a foil, you're not getting much.
What's that?
Unless you get like a foil Gary B, you're not.
That's right. Exactly. So to me, like to have one where there's a tier 1, there's only 2 spots that don't have a. a tier 1 or a 70 plus, because 3 doesn't have a tier 1, 6 doesn't have one, and 8 doesn't have one. I think those are the only ones.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but if you have 3, you have elephants, you have burglar, you have admiral, you have harpic, like you have big characters. At 8, I think they're like 8 and 6, you have no 70 plus characters and no tier 1s. So, the only reason why I'm saying 6 is lower than 8 is because 1, the score is lower, and I think the total character count is lower. But you could argue that Gary B might be better. I think, what's the top 8? Parrot?
Alpha Alligator?
Alligator is that a 8 or a 5? Yeah, Alligator, Parrot, Kiwi. There's not that many.
Yeah.
6 has Wombat. It has the Crane. It has the Meerkat. It's got Gary B. So, I don't know. It's got the Chameleon, which doesn't mean much. I'm just, as I'm going through, saying it. So, do you sell any motorcycle parts or just gear? You said you're focused on. There's a motorcycle apparel store up the block from me that opened up. I've never seen anyone go into it. Do you have a retail store, just a warehouse, and you're all online?
So we deal mostly with actually other dealers. So we have dealers throughout Canada and the US that sell our stuff.
Okay.
Website where we.
So you wholesale everything?
Yeah, but we do sell direct to customer as well. We do both.
Okay. Got it. And you said you started 4 years ago. What did you do before that?
I worked in accounting for a big, it was a factoring company. So we do and doing all of their financing, but did not like that. So
happy. Yeah. Did you have the realization, I was at my job? We're turning this into the public counsel stream that I do, which I have you on the list of people to reach out to talk to, because I know you own a business. But while I have you on here and to bring value to anyone that's watching, I mean, did you have the moment of realization? I started to hate my job. I was a sales manager at a payroll company, and I was interviewing at companies in Florida and North Carolina. I was looking at not so much industries, because I was I don't know what industry. I know sales. I'm good at sales, but I can sell. I felt like I could sell anything as long as I believed in it or, had conviction in the product. But then I interviewed at 2 other companies. One was a tech companies, which I liked, and it was in Florida, which is where I wanted to move. And when I got to the interview and all this stuff, and even when I got to the advanced part of the interview and the offer, I was just I feel like I'm just trading the room I'm in. And I was I just think that I'm not going to be happy at any job. It's not so much the industry. I was always well, I don't like payroll, which who would, right? I worked in professional sports and then in finance. They were fine. Then payroll, I'm but I feel like I'm just jumping. It's going to be the same. It's the same everywhere. There's still corporate politics. There's still the hierarchy ladder. The ladder's always wider than it is tall, right? So you have more people gunning for the same job, and only one person's going to get it every 10 years. It's and if you get skipped over, you have to wait another decade for an opportunity. I was
that's what I hated the most about working at bigger companies. Was the people there, you can't trust them, right? The people are gunning for jobs or promotions, and both fighting for the same promotion. And then find out later who you thought was your friend is not your friend, because they're trying to get your job, right? It's just politics of it, or just,
Right, but it's also who knows who, and who, obviously you always hope that it's who's better fit for it, right? But
it never goes to serving person. It goes to
the one that makes sense at the time. and who they can leverage and who they can control and be more of a puppet. If you have like independent thought and you're like, I'm coming in with ideas, they just want you to execute what the higher ups will say to do, rather than we want you to like revamp it and like we'll give you some funds to run it the way you want. It's like never ever. It's all about control is what I found. I'm not saying it's like that everywhere. It was like that everywhere I worked at least. And I was just like, I don't want to spend all my entire 30s to try to seek out this unicorn company. But
I think just working at somewhere where you're looking forward to going into work every day,
mm-hmm.
You can't beat that sometimes, right? Like when you're not like worried, like, oh, I got to go into work today, you know?
Yeah. You know, and people like will ask me like, what's your dream job? Right. And I'm like, I don't dream about working. So like, I don't have one, right? Like my dream is to be able to make money and not work, or like, it's the utility to do the things I truly enjoy. Now, do I like the business I own? Yes. But if I could get paid the same amount and not do it, I'm going to choose that. You know what I mean? Where I think it's really hard to find the thing that you truly love waking up and doing every single day. You know what I mean? I also have switched jobs and moved every 3 years because I just get bored and I like things change and I have different aspirations. I'm a different person every 3 to 4 years, it seems like. And I've owned my business. I'm in my 6th year. And at year 4, I was like, I'm going to list it for sale. And I did. But when it came down to it of like, what am I going to do next? And I don't want to start from the bottom again, and what I could get for it versus where I think I can take it. I stayed. And so I do like it, but I changed the dynamic within it. I am sitting at home, live streaming, sorting cards, but my crew is out making money. You know what I mean? So it's costing me more. I could be at that job and make $200 more. Or I could be at home and make $200 less, but still make money. You know what I mean? So
I think life balance is a big thing, right? Like,
yeah, to me, like more than like profits of a business, it's the freedom that is the chase for me. I just want to be able, like, obviously I have to be able to afford my mortgage and feed my family and all of that, and then have extra to do stuff that I want to do. That's the chase. But I don't want, like, I wear black t-shirts. I wear, rack room shoes. I don't like cars. You know what I mean? They're not my thing. So like the things that I like to do is very narrow. I like to like fish and travel and all this stuff. And so like, I just want to create a life where I have time to do those things. That's it.
Yeah.
My socks will have holes in them.
That's what Rob and I always say. We just want to make enough to be comfy, and that's it. We don't need more than.
Yeah, I mean, like, but there is you need to have the nest egg too, so that there is like, you need to make enough. You can't just make enough to do the things you like, because like, again, every 3 to 4 years, I like something new, right? So like, I have thousands of comic books. I was obsessed about them for years. I still love them, but I don't read them much because I found new things where it's cards and live streaming and all this stuff. So I still love it, and I'm not selling it all off, but I'm also not buying much anymore. But if I needed to, I could sell them all off in a second. And that's why, like, I also don't spend any money on anything that I don't think, all right, at least can I make money, or at least get my money back on it? So I don't know. It's the freedom, but to feel that freedom, you also need a safety net, because what if I break my leg, or what if I go into the hospital for a month? If I'm living like just at that, like, here's all I need on a monthly basis or an annual basis, like, it needs to be beyond that, but then freedom.
Yeah. Well, that's the comfy part. You put in, like, Rob and I are big Dave Ramsey fans, and you put in the whole point is the freedom part is not having any debt, right?
Right.
And then the comfy part is adding in the extra a month that you can just build away, and it just stocks up and stocks up because you don't need it for when an emergency comes around. You have to throw it at a credit card or anything like that, right? Because you don't have this debt that you're paying off. And that, I think, is ultimate freedom when you're not tied to anything. That's, I
Right.
mean, when people put down like their bills and like the cost of living on one side and then their debt on the other side, it's usually ridiculous, which ties us right back to the schooling too, which is changing. But if people just didn't have this debt holding them hostage,
Yeah.
things would be a lot different.
But also, like, I think I mentioned, like, I have neighbors that both got promotions. They both have told me they don't love their job. They both got promotions at that job. And they went and bought season tickets to a sports thing. And I'm like, you're putting yourself in, you do this like, now they truly love that. So I'm not discounting that they are using their funds, but I would say take a couple years break and try to find a job that you don't hate and then buy that so that you can have both. Because like, that's, I think, like even Gary's whole message is like, don't just live for the weekends or the Eagles games or whatever it is, right? Like you're buying stuff and putting yourself in the hole that you're not happy 75% of your week.
Yeah.
That's no way to live. I mean,
But
people
what
just
would you say, like, what if that's their escape? What if that's the reason that like keeps them going because they can't find anything right now, or and that's like their happy place? Or for the people who say, well, I could die tomorrow and I've never bought the season tickets and I never got to go. And
well, I would say here's what, like everyone can die at any time, so don't plan on dying. I get that, right? You can't bring it with you. But if you're young and healthy, I would say like don't the beginning part of your question. I worked for 10 years in corporate and I did not like really any of it. Even when I was at the Jets and then I was at the other thing, I did it because like I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And I just like, I can usually find pockets of something that I like about it. But I look at it now as you have to do what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. So if you're still in that mode of, I think that was Mark waving goodbye, and Irish goodbying us, kind of. If it's your escape, I get it because you can't find anything else. So if it's a temporary thing, but like I also, that's not the only thing that they've done it on. And, they had years prior to that they did it. Like the husband had an offer from another job and was going to leave. And then he got lured back to the company for money. And it's just like, I don't know. If he had to go back to the job that he doesn't like because of monetary value, because he can't afford to take that step down to be in a job that he likes, it's probably stemmed from decisions made prior that buried him in that position where he can't take that. My wife, I was working at the payroll company. My wife was a pretty successful marketing manager at a tech company. She hated it. She hated every day. And every day we would come home and tell each other how much we hated our jobs, right? I just hated mine a little bit less at the time. So I was like, it was just us. We didn't have kids. And I'm like, quit your job. Like she was like, she wanted to be a fitness instructor. She's like a great baker and all this stuff. I'm like, give it a shot. We can sustain our lifestyle because we live way below our means on just my salary. And so she did. And she did great. What was she making as much as she was? No, not even close. But who would in the first year? But then I started to hate my job to the point where it really affected my everyday. And then it was like we were renting. No, we weren't renting. We owned our house. When she quit, we were renting. I think. I'm getting the timeline mixed up. But either way, we owned a house and my wife was pregnant. She was not working, doing the fitness truck because she was pregnant, right? And I was like really struggling. And I was just like, I can't do it. What if this was like this is the time. This is the wake up call to quit and try to give it a real shot. You can always get another job. And I know that's a blanketing statement that is not always true. But to me, there's other jobs, even if it's not in the career I used to have or whatever, you can find something and figure it out. And so that's kind of like, I quit my job where it was the only income in my family and took out $150,000 loan and bought the business I have. So it was a huge risk, but it was something that like I just had to do because I was willing to sacrifice with my wife's, support and agreement. I didn't just do it. That it's like, listen, why, like you could stay at your job and it's safe, but even still, like I felt like I was getting pushed out. I feel like they just make you feel safe until you find out that it's not. So like, even if you're at a safe, comfortable job, you never really have it. It's a facade. So I was like, fuck it, let's do this. And it worked out, but it definitely could not have. And if it didn't, I was like, okay, the loan is $150,000. If in 6 months I don't make any money and start paying it back, I only spent about 90. If I waited 6 months, I probably would have spent another 20 to 30 of it. So I'm like, all right, I'll have 20,000 left from the loan. I'll pay that back. I'll get another job. And even if I owe $130,000, which is not a little bit of money, obviously, it's not my life is ruined. I have to file bankruptcy. I'll get a job and we'll pay the mortgage and just sacrifice where we have to and, make it work. I don't know. If it's an escape, I don't like that word, right? Because that means you're escaping the rest of your life for a 3-hour sporting event. A 3-hour does not escape a 50-hour work week. So I would just like, you can watch the game on TV. It's not like you have to not do anything. So to me, it's like, I would rather watch it on TV for free and try to find another job.
Yeah. Cause you're still not feeling that freedom. You might feel
no freedom
during the game. And then once you leave the game, you're right back in jail.
Yeah. I mean, sport tickets is a horrible hobby to me. Because it's not just the excessive cost of tickets, it's the excessive cost of everything: parking, driving, or train tickets, and food and beverage and merchandise and all that stuff. And you get nothing back. You know what I mean? Like you get a 3-hour ordeal and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, to me, it just, but I'm also not that big of a sports guy.
Right.
And to me, that's a luxury. If you hate your life or hate your job and struggle in your, to make your bills, a sporting season ticket package is the last thing.
True.
Because it is the most luxury, unnecessary item because you can still watch the game.
Yeah. Like Dave says, if you can buy one boat, you better be able to afford 7 boats. Otherwise,
That's
you're not.
what I mean. Yeah. That's a great one. And it's true.
Yep. This is the stuff that I feel like should be talked more about in like high school. Oh. Who got
Of course
the 5? Who got the 5 spot?
Hi, Anthony. That's not me saying hi. That's who got it.
Oh, I was like, oh, he's here.
No, hi, Anthony got it. Of course it is. But the reason it's not is because they don't want to encourage people to go start their own businesses. They want to encourage people to be great employees.
Work for the system. Yeah. And it's set up that way. Someone said something, or maybe I read it, I don't remember where, and it stuck with me. So when a kid starts writing papers, right, you have to write a paper for this one teacher, and that teacher is the one that's reading it and grading it. Then you go to the next year, a different grade, a different teacher. Now you're writing for that teacher, and you have to learn how to write for that teacher and how they grade it. So you're constantly learning how to do something for someone else for that grade instead of just like a kid writing for themselves. They have to learn how to be a writer for the person that's grading them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's setting them up from the beginning to just do the work for a person the way it's supposed to be done for that person. And I'm just like, man, it's tough. So we just try to instill in and our kids totally different way of thinking. But it's hard, it's hard. We just want them happy. I want them happy and successful. So
yeah, happy, right? And happy is successful, right? So like obviously financial success is great. And I think, can't buy happiness is not really true. It is. I'm not saying that having money is why people can be happy, but having money gives you the opportunities to be free to do the things that do make you happy. So like it's tied, but it's not a direct line.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's funny, like I have a friend who's a teacher and now assistant principal or principal. I don't remember. I haven't gotten an update on his job in a little bit, but he's like one of the teachers like Rob that you want, right? And he's like, if someone like submitting a paper at school or taking a test is like one of the only things in life that you get one shot at and you're screwed if you mess it up. How, like, that's not how it should be. Like, and I, the whole anti-education, like education is based around memorization. We don't have to memorize things anymore. Like I completely agree with everything there. But like, if I do something wrong in my work now, even the crime scene side or, whatever, I get like, I can go back and fix it, right? If I miss a spot, it's happened. It's not common, but things are weird sometimes. Sometimes we miss a room if we're doing a hoarding job and they're like, hey, I asked you to clear out this room. And I'm like, fuck, all right, we'll be there tomorrow. Like you can mess up and make and do that. But in school, you miss a few questions, you're fucked. The rest of the year, your whole grade relies on a midterm or final. Yeah. And you get one shot and that's it. And if you screw up, you're done. And then now you have a bad grade and you have this smudge on your permanent record for the next grade. Or then you can't go to the college you want because you messed up one test one time. It's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah. And it goes even deeper psychologically because it's screwing with kids' fear.
Yeah.
We get from Tony Robbins, fear equates to, false evidence appearing real. Mm-hmm. And so they're taught this in school, and it's sad because then they're afraid to fix their mistakes. They're afraid to ask for help. They're afraid to do all these things because of the fear that's been instilled in them from that. I know with Finn, so our 5-year-old's in kindergarten, and they already do testing in kindergarten, which makes me literally sick, by the way. And I can already tell, like, I wasn't a good tester. Rob's not a good tester. We both have ADHD and it doesn't work for us. And I can already tell Finn is not a good tester. And the way they test in kindergarten for him is like, they'll say a word, or actually it's now sentences. They'll be like, I got a dog. And Finn in kindergarten has to then, like, the teacher will say it and then he has to write, I got a dog. And I'm like, what? And like, he has one shot, right? And so most of the time he panics and leaves it blank, and he'll come home with a blank spelling. They call it spelling celebrations. It's every single Friday. And today he was out, this week he was out all week. And of course it's spelling celebration. So he's going to have a tough day, but, and that's like the test. And they do that every single Friday. And it's gotten to the point where he has lost like all of his confidence. And he tells me he's like the sweetest soul and he's super emotionally intelligent. And he'll come home and he'll be like, Mom, I leave it blank because I'm afraid I don't know it. And like, I don't have help. And so he has no confidence when it comes to this stuff. And we're talking kindergarten. He's already telling me he doesn't want to go to school. Like he wakes up not wanting to go to school because he has no confidence in the learning. It's so sad. And I'm like, this is kindergarten. And he even asked me, he's like, well, how many more days do I have to go to school? And I'm like, I like broke it down to him. I'm like, well, you're in kindergarten.
16,000.
So like next year's first grade, then there's second grade. And he's like, what? So it's sad. And when we put him in school, my biggest thing was I just wanted him to be kind, have friends, and to love school and learning. But the problem is they haven't even given him that opportunity in kindergarten. So it's like, what do we do?
It's maddening.
Birdie, that's so sad. It's so sad. Rob and I always talk about, I think I've talked about this before on stream, but Rob and I have always talked about starting a school. And it's always been in like our 10-year plan, which I feel like we're always like, oh, it's in our 10-year plan. It's in our 10-year plan. It's been like 5 years and it's still in our 10-year plan. But we talk about it being in our 10-year plan because when we were thinking about putting Finn in kindergarten and like Rob coming from a public education background, we just knew it probably wouldn't be the best fit for him, but we're like, let's just try it out and see how it goes. And it's been okay. It's been great for him, but it's still not like the perfect fit. And I think Montessori school is just a little too lax. Finn needs a little bit more structure than that. And homeschooling, I just don't think I can manage, and I don't think it'll be right for me, which long term won't be right for Finn. And there's one hybrid school around here that's like $15,000. And I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. So there's no like good, perfect mix yet for a kid like Finn. And it kills me because it's like that with so many kids. They just don't have the right fit. So I don't know. And before this, Rob was working at an inner city school. And that, let me tell you, those poor kids are just completely failed. They just push them along. The kid can put their name on their paper and not get any help or emotionally or with their schoolwork, nothing. And they just get thrown into, I always thought that inner city kids could find a way out until Rob worked at an inner city school. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, some of them they really don't have an opportunity to get out of here. It's so sad.
It's horrible. Looking at the stacks, I think
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? What?
Is it me again? Oh my, it's always me. Hold on.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Let me get out and come back in. I think it's me.
I'm glad, Ann. Happy to hear that. No worry, Mark. No worries. I saw you kind of like halfway wave and all that. Pokescoot, Pokey, with the gifted sub to Ann. Thank you, bud. Appreciate that. And welcome, Ann. Glad you like the conversation. This is not, most people here know this is twice a week stream. Wednesday nights and Sunday nights, and then Chelsea does one on Friday nights. And sometimes we go live during the day while I have to pack up stuff. So what I was saying was, I was saying how 6 spot is the worst one. I think it made out the best here.
Wow.
Because it's got 2 hits, and the only very rare we pulled, I didn't even realize like the Walrus and Swaggy would be in the same category.
That's sick.
Ann said, you hopped off. Ann said, I'm in the middle of getting the kid ready, but wanted to say hi and that they love this conversation. Former preschool teacher here and couldn't agree more about school. Have a little one in 1st grade and been debating homeschooling for a while now. Honestly, my son is in the 5s program at his preschool, and he's going to kindergarten in September, and I'm dreading it. Like, I really wish we could homeschool.
Yeah. It's tough. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like in so many aspects, it's great for kids. And then, public education is like, I've really seen Finn thrive, but I've also seen him really struggle. And then I'm just like, okay, with homeschooling, if there were some groups that like also got together, because he also thrives in social settings, like he is a social butterfly. But it's just a class of 20 is too big. He needs a little bit more personalized help. And I don't know. I think every kid does. I mean, there's a few selected that are just awesome and independent, and their parents have been teaching them shape since they were, 2 months old. And that's great. That wasn't us. And he just, I don't know.
I also agree. So Ann said it comes down to the teacher too. You can have the worst school, but have a great teacher. I completely agree. It's just
Totally.
like the ones who teach as a one size fits all is not where it's at. My son is really like, he doesn't hate being like, he likes going to school, and like all the teachers there call him the mayor. and all this stuff. Like, it's really cute. They all, like, we've gotten invited to, like, kids have had family birthday parties and they only want my son to be the, like, only other kid. Like, I've gone to a kid I don't know, his family birthday party. We were the only kid invited. Like, my son was the only kid invited, and we, like, went, and I was like, it's like grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncle, and it's like, and then us. We were the only one so, like, it's not a matter of like one, but when it comes to something new, my son clams up. If he gets told, like, here's what we're doing, and then when people are like, come on, let's do it. Like, for example, he plays t-ball and he's really good at it, but at the end, when you all put your hand in and go 1, 2, 3, whatever, he wouldn't put his hand in. So all the team is standing around, hands in, and he's just off to the side. He stands there, he watches, and, like, smile on his face. He doesn't mind not being a part of it, but he doesn't. And people are like, come on, put your hand in, come on, Chenzo. And he's just like, nope, don't want to. But then he watches it, and now he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, he needs to get to, he's going to decide when he's ready to do it. Right. And the more you ask him to, he's going to clam up and then start getting upset. Now, if you do a one side, I'm not saying he needs special treatment, but, like, just don't do it. If you know the personality, and don't do it if you know it's going to lead to it. He does not succumb to that. So if you put that social pressure on him, he's gonna clam up, and then you're gonna lose him for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. And then he's gonna be in a bad mood because he's gonna feel like he let you down and all this stuff.
Totally.
But if you just wait, if you listen to him when he says no, I don't want to, and then if it's not something like a test, right? It's all just like they're in preschool. It was hot potato. He came home so upset because of hot potato. He just didn't want to play. It's like, just let him sit on the side and watch it, and then when he's ready, he'll cut. It's like, why is that
right?
Why is that not okay?
Yeah, teachers, and, like, I feel bad because knowing, like, Rob's side of it, the resources aren't available, and there's not enough teachers where they have to feel like the first half of the school year, Rob had one class of 30 students. 30 students, and it was one Rob. And so, you know, in a 45-minute time slot, it's impossible for him to give every single student the attention that they deserve. And he knows that. I mean, and Rob's an incredible teacher. Like, he will do everything he can for any student. And, but those teachers don't come around. There's not a ton of those. And especially male teachers. Female teachers obviously are amazing, but a lot of kids need a male figure teacher in their life, especially in elementary school. So, he's a special case, but the fact that they just don't even have enough teachers, they don't have enough resources, they don't have a lot of help. I mean, one of these kids got into, like, a physical fight at school, and we're talking 3rd grade. Like, it was a bad physical fight, and Rob had to break it up. And this was right after finding out that night at midnight, this kid got sent to his grandparents' house because of a domestic dispute in his house, right? At midnight, got sent to his grandparents' house, went to school the next day, got into a physical fight himself. Obviously, there's a connection there. But what did the school do? The school sent him home for virtual learning for a few days because of his fight. And we're like, okay, how is that helping this kid at all? Like, that's putting him back in a bad situation where he shouldn't be in, that clearly caused a fight in the first place. But there's just not enough resources, you know? So it's like, it's a catch-22 right now. Like, I'm sure there's a ton of administrative and teachers who actually care, but their hands are tied. They can't do anything about it, which is why Rob always leaves teaching and then goes back to teaching, and leaves teaching and goes back to teaching. He's left teaching, I think, 3 times now. Oh no, I'm probably not going to be able to hear you again.
Oh boy.
Dang it.
We still hear you.
It's my alarm. That's what it is. I have to turn it off. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Let me catch up on this. Are we buying into what's the Fanatics break today, Black Label? What up, Dom? Should be 20 max per class. I can get behind that.
I'm the worst.
You are. Another downfall when I was in school, they always had, I always remember having 30 kids in a class. I went to public school. I've always remembered it being that many kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, also comes down to parents. Parents in the house can change everything. They can reverse anything bad. They can help their kid along. And
I do believe that.
as long as they're raising good kids, at the end of the day, the kids will figure it out, you know. It would be nice to have help. So do we, so V-Friends did a 5-box number break and it was 180.
The second digit one?
Yeah.
It was 180, yeah.
How do we feel about the value of that?
Well, the way I look at the values of it is 180. When I did the math, it came out to $360 a box.
Okay.
So that's actually extremely reasonable. And I think it's because I think you'll see that since it was such a success. Yeah, 190. I didn't even know that yet, but I think because it was a success and people liked it, myself included, but they wanted to like test it low and then they're just going to slowly raise. Like the letter break is my favorite still. And although this one could be a contender, because again, I feel like there's less bad spots. A majority are good spots. I wish they would do it on a 10-box break, but I know it's going to be super expensive then. There's 10 spots, 10 boxes, you're going to be paying $400, you know, whatever. So like we priced ours based on what we sell boxes for. We didn't go above what we sell, but we didn't go below because we're like, should we sell it at less than what we can sell the boxes? Because people won't buy the boxes every time. We have to stop people from buying them, right? We have to limit it to spread it out. And so we're like, we're not going to undersell it, but we're also not going to, even though it's more shipping and more packing and sorting and all that, we're not going to charge more because it's already expensive. So that's how we decided on our price, which was different than what they did because their box price value wasn't that bad. So now if it's 190, right, what does that come to? 190 times 10 divided by what? 5? Is it a 5-box break again? That's 380. So it's still below box price.
Yeah.
Full box price. And full box price is based on pack price because packs were selling for $35 a pack. That's over $400, well over $400.
Yeah.
So, so a $400 box is a discount when you consider that packs are $35 and they sell packs no problem.
True.
So it's actually still kind of undervalued based on boxes, and there's less bad spots. And I said, like, there's only 3 spots that don't have a tier 1 potential. That's 3, 6, and 8. But 3, there's a lot of banger 73s. There's 3 different numbers you can get, 53, 63, 73. At 6 and 8, there's only 2. There's only 58, 68, 56, 66. And in those, there's no tier 1s. There's some good characters, though. Like, again, I mean, you could still pull something good. The 6 spot, which I consider to be the worst, probably did the best in our break. But 0 to me is the best spot. It's got the most tier 1s.
Yeah.
And the most characters. So I still really like the setup. It's way better than when they did 50 to 55, 66 to 7. Like that was the worst one because you could get 50 to 55.
Yeah.
The loser of that is like such a loser. You know what I mean?
I mean, even the 60s.
Exactly. Only one got their money's worth.
Right.
Out of what, 5 different spots.
Yeah.
Here, I feel like all of them have somewhat equal potential. There are ones that are better than others, but if you get a loser spot, it's still not that bad.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Dirt Dog, if he's in, just pack it in.
What is the next? What if we did a break based on, and I don't know all the numbers, so I have no idea if it would work or whatever.
Okay?
But what if we did a break based on stamina, skill?
We could. We'd have to just like come up with the stipulations. How would you do it?
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. I have to look at all the numbers to see what would even make sense.
Right. So like Curry, if he's still in here, he took the numbers, the letters break and revamped it to what I think is way better, because he looked at all of the numbers and basically he consolidated. Like the X spot, they always made as a special one, but then they used to give a free box to it, and now they don't do that anymore. So I don't like, it used to be the coveted spot, and I don't think it is.
Right.
I'm getting a call, so I have to hop off. So Chelsea, you're up.
Okay. Yep. Here we are again. So, who's coming tonight? Yeah, Xbot was the best. Now it's not. I remember the first stream that happened, and I think like half of us got the memo that there was no box, and the other half didn't. I was in the half that didn't get the memo that there was no box for X, and I don't remember. It was someone out of the card group that got that X spot, and we're all like, "Yeah, Birdie, was it you or Mark?" It was someone like in the core card group, where we're like, "Yeah, you got the X spot. Let's go." And then we all found out that you weren't getting a box, and we're like, "Ooh, this is awkward." Ooh, that was settings. I'm trying to see your comments. Yeah, they switched it, which is lame. I don't know what they do now. They probably throw in a couple slabs or something. Something that costs them $0 to get. Oh no, Birdie, really? Yeah, it's a tough thing to recover from. I mean, it's literally like gambling. You're really not. Most of us aren't winning in this stuff. It's just like fun to be a part of. So it's tough. It's tough. But I like the fun ones. The number one's different, but I want to do something with the attributes. I think would be fun, but in a way where like everyone kind of wins. So it'd be fun if we did like like if we did that and then we played with the cards that were pulled somehow. I got to figure that out because that obviously is complicated AF. Saving my money for more laughs. Brofit, you have my heart. Oh, Blackfit. Okay. 6.5 slabs, right, Brett? Is that really what they're giving? Black Label got 3 slabs, a goo, a CGC, 8, 9, and 10, and a pack for your X spot. 10 was a devil. Okay, that's pretty sick. That's kind of nice. Right, Pokescoo. It's just like fun. It's fun. And to be part of the community is always a good time. But just make sure you're not spending money. Just be part of the community. A 10 devil is pretty awesome. Brofit saving money for laughs. I love it. Tonight, guys, if you didn't hear, I will be live on Twitch they finally gave me access to Twitch, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are doing Moonopoly. Jay's going to put up spots on the website. Once he does, I'll post a link on Twitter. And then I'm also doing a new game, a Look It game, which is going to be a trivia game, but there's a game within the game. So I don't know which game I'm going to do yet, but I think there'll be 3 different games. A defense tower, which is a lot of fun. Probably the crypto stealing one, and then there's another one that I'll do. There's like a fishing one, which is fun. So it'll be 3 Look It games. You can buy in, and you play all 3 games, and then at the end of that, we'll do tallies, and the first, second, and third place get prizes. We're going to be giving away fuck glasses. I hate saying that word, and some slabs that Jay sent me. I think there's a foil slab actually in the box that he sent me, I think. So we're going to do that tonight when the spots go live. They'll be up. Yeah, Brady, I feel that. Even though the auctions are tough because there's so much hype on the Fanatic streams, that prices just are so gouged. And like my heart breaks when I watch them. I'm like, good for them. Cool. They're making the money. But like some people just don't know. Like that one time on the big, was it the big game show? It was the big game show when they did the box break. And that Gary spot that they had to fill. And that girl who got it, who like literally didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know what she was buying. She didn't know anything about it. She did get the number 1 spot though. She got spot 7, I believe. So thank gosh, because that would have been really upsetting. But she paid like a crazy amount for that spot. Head glasses. That's better. Yes. It was painful. And then remember she like commented, she's like, oh, what do I do? How do I pay? And we're all like, girl, that's what you just did. Like, that's what just happened. So, and we're all hoping that Be Friends gets to the point where we all want it to be, where like even the core cards, the core S1 cards eventually will be worth a lot of money. So like, hopefully we're still all underpaying, you know, but you can't think like that. But where I just hope her, you know, $1,500 investment pays off, because that poor thing had no idea. So that's why I get a little nervous. And like, I do know they like go out of their way to say, you guys, this is too much. Like, just so you know, you can get it cheaper elsewhere. Just like stop. And I know they say that, but they know that happens every time. So that's my 2 cents. That's not to the moons. I don't know what they believe. That's just my 2 cents from just like, this hurts my soul a little when I see people paying so much for things. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just don't know. Why does Tom leave me? I'm so awkward. I definitely put my babies down for a nap, and I hear one awake already. He's chatting. I'm hoping that he just needs to fall back asleep, because that was not a long nap. That was like, what was that, 30 minutes? You guys, I can't live on a 30-minute nap. That's just not going to happen. You know what? It is totally about the FOMO. Totally. And I definitely have given into some stuff too. The hype. I mean, you know, we're talking about the hype on Fanatics and auctions and missing out and, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's easy to get lost in the hype. I think they provide, you know, the auctions is where you're going to lose value the most, because people do get caught up in it. But the breaks themselves, I think, are market priced and they make it fun. It's a good show. You know, we buy in. We own all these, we buy all these boxes, and yet we could open them if we wanted to, and we're getting them. You know, the only way we continue the show and make money so that we can keep doing the show is by buying these boxes and trying to get them at a rate that makes sense, that we can, you know, sell on stream. And yet, so even though we can get boxes cheaper than what we pay on Fanatics, we still do it, because then we have inventory that will get like stuff graded, but also like it's fun, right? You want to be a part of it. So there's value, even if it's not monetary, to be a part of that community. You want, you know, if you want to be a part of this community, that you don't need to buy in and have Rip say your name and all this stuff. But if you want to, like, we are public people at this point to this micro niche of a niche community, It's not. I mean, it's fun, and I think it brings some value to us, even if it's not monetary. We probably have lost more than we've gained monetary value, but I think what we've made in non-value monetary value in, awareness of the stream and, appreciation from the founders of the company that our business kind of started and launched from brings us value. So that's where we justify it.
Totally.
If that is in line with what you were talking about.
Kind of. We were talking about the auctions, but yes, you are right.
The auctions can get out of control. I have not participated in one auction. I was shocked at the last Series 1 box auction because spots went for a realistic and below market. So that was
it a weird time? I don't remember. Like I think that's what it was, right? It was just like the weird time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
most of it wasn't like Gary pushing all these new people in where it got all exciting. It was just like the people who were like, wait, no, I know the value of what's going on here. Like,
right. So it was after they did the 55 box break where the Series 1 box was included. So 56 box break.
Right.
They surprised everyone with the second one at the end.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't really say what the format was going to be clearly. And if you hop in and hop out, like I can't sit and watch a stream for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So like I'll put it on and then my kid calls me and then I have to go eat dinner and then I have to go do this. And then like that, they always stream during my dad time.
Yeah.
And I get it. They coordinate it to be after work time. After work time is dad time. And I can be distracted and ditch out on work. I can't do that on dad time. So I have it on, but as soon as the kids start talking or whatever, it's off. So I miss it. So I didn't know that they were doing it until late in the stream. So they did it after a 5+ hour stream and we were live, right? Is that the night? Yeah, we were live when they did it. And we were like, oh my God. And we sold a box for more than they did right after they did. Like it was like weird timing. And that's the whole thing. They didn't hype it up during the promos. They didn't talk about it enough during the stream. And after 6 hours, it was hard. So I think that's why. But some people got some deals.
Yeah. That was cleaning lady night.
We need clips of that.
I have it all done. I just have to do like the zooming in. It'll be done today.
Okay. Because that was the con man night.
Yeah. I mean, after a certain amount of hours watching and listening and being on stream and stuff, everyone starts to get a little loopy.
Tell me about it, because then we're live after that. At least we're different people. It's a different scene and vibe.
Right.
But it's tough, man. I get it. I don't know I don't remember what our viewership was like that night, but I don't remember it being low because we did hype up the Series 1 box. Was that the Panda night? No.
No.
No, this is when Rips was walking his dog. That was you ripped it that night.
The Auto Jacko, and the Lava Kudo.
Right.
And a Rare Oak.
Rare Oak.
It was a sick box.
That was a good box. Freaking Frodo.
Yep. If you're pulling a Lava Kind Kudu and then right after an Auto Jacko, I mean,
fire. I mean, it's not a Bubblegum Gary B and then a Panda Auto, but it's still up there.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird though, as you're saying this and as I'm saying it out loud, it kind of seems like To the Moon pulls fire S1 boxes. Weird. Weird.
I mean, I'm biased 100%, but I think the two best boxes ever ripped were on To the Moon.
Absolutely.
One by you, one by Jay. So I'm due. So Texas, these two boxes are going. Just saying, spots available.
That's
spots available.
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks from today. I go there. I'll be there by now.
That's so exciting.
And so it'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow will be the rip. The 2 boxes are right here. The packs are not loose inside. We have 7 spots sold. 2 are to Gary. Mark said he'll get in on one for sure. So we got Mark B. We got Mark B. What's that?
$6.95?
No, it's $6.50.
Oh,
$6.50. But if you're going or buy 2 or more, it's discounted to $6.25. And so if you're going to buy 2, we'll give you we'll email, like DM us, we'll send you a $50 coupon code. And if you're going to be there live and buy 1 spot, we'll send you a $25 coupon code.
so fun. I want one so bad.
Yeah, Chelsea's raising the market price.
I don't know why I thought we were at $6.95 already.
That'd be wild.
Well, we're
No,
going to get there. Everyone's going to get there at some point. I mean, every time one of these boxes go.
But also, like, when you still consider what the fuck is still out there. We pulled the Black Cat, right?
1.
It's 1. So Soggy's in the chat. Like, we got 1. There's 4 more and an auto.
Crazy.
There's still 3 to 4 sketch cards, including the Red Devil, which would be, I think, coveted as the highest one.
There's still a ton of gunmetals, right?
There's 33
And like
gunmetals.
No?
I don't know. I know there was 3 publicly pulled.
Right.
No, 2 publicly pulled. Only we pulled the Polish, but on this stream pulled the Basset Hound. Come in. Hi. BRB.
Comments. Poker and Basset Hound. Thanks, Soggy. A deal posted in front of her. You're so right. Gosh, she's always just leaving me. Yeah, so there's a ton of gunmetals left. At least that we know of. There's a ton of Caterpillar specs left. Right? I don't know. No Caterpillar specs from S1 have been pulled that we know of. I don't think. So, crazy stuff out there. I mean, cats and caterpillars. But a lot of good stuff. And I agree. I can't believe there's still boxes left to be pulled and broke. Hey, Slowpoke. Just me again. How you doing? Well, Birdie, exactly. Like, it's going to get crazy. And we know that there are major collectors out there who got their boxes and are just sitting on them because after boxes came out, they spiked. I think it was like $15,000 boxes were going for. And obviously then there was like a lull and they dropped to like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 or something. So the people who didn't sell at that 15,000, you know, they're going to sit on them at least until they're back there. And there's some people, there's going to be a box that's literally never ripped. So there's someone out there who collects sealed boxes and it will never be opened. It will be just sitting there. Whoever's got, man, it's like book games. You play that game forever. So, Pokescoot, you're that person? You have one that's just sitting, sealed? Oh my gosh. You legend. You legend. But from Josh, Soggy, you just know everything. Oh my goodness. Pokescoot, good for you. Hold on to that. Normally, I'm like, that's fun. Normally, I'm like, rip it.
But like as we get closer to the finish line of these boxes going away, I always tell people, like, if you have one sealed, just hold it. And good thing Tom's not here to hear me say that. But like long-term winning gameplay, hold it. The only problem is, did someone just gift something? Is someone subbing? I see little stars on Tom's screen. I can't scream because my kids are sleeping. Well, I think one is. Right. But yay! I don't know what it is, but yay! What are you doing? This is awkward if no one did that. But anywho, just hold the box. Hold the box. The only thing is, we'll know like what's been pulled and what's kind of left. So if it's a bunch of junk, like everyone will know. However, it will be a sealed box. So, yeah, it's a catch-22. However, I do think the prices of boxes are going to skyrocket, especially after BCon. It's a little nerve-wracking. Like I want to buy into another box break so bad. Like if you want S1 cards, buy on secondhand market or buy into a box break. And then if you have a box, just hold it. Don't rip your box. Hold the box because it can always be ripped. The cards aren't changing inside of it. You'll always have it. So if you want S1 cards, buy into a break or buy secondary. Buy them from me. Soggy, do you have caterpillars? I traded for them. I have the S1 Caterpillar that was pulled the other week. I traded, so I'm super excited. Super, super excited. I know. Prices are going to skyrocket after VCon. They usually do. We go on a high, but remember, what goes up comes down, goes up comes down. So never overextend yourself. Always remember it's just fun and it's just cards at the end of the day. Focus on building your collection. So when you buy into a break, use the cards that you get as leverage to get closer to your collection or your financial goals, whichever one makes more sense for you. I know a lot of new people come in all like hot and heavy. I just want people to stay realistic on their goals. But at the same time, like box break spots are going to go up. Like it wasn't too long ago that box break spots were like $395. I don't know why I keep going to the 95. That's just what I'm going to say. But I remember, we'll call it $395. It might have been $350. But I remember Danny, was it Danny? No, I don't remember. Whatever. They were doing this massive box break, and it was like $350 or $395. And I looked at my husband. I'm like, "This is a great deal. We should do it." And he's like, "It's kind of high." And we're like, "You're right. It's just not the time for us." At $350, whatever it was, we'll call it $400. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And now we're at what is it, $650? Whatever it is now. You just can't see the future. Bye, Brett. Thanks for hanging out with us. Brody says I was hot and heavy. Now I'm just heavy. 650 plus. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Soggy. So you want to hear this story? So the Texas boys. So I know of 3 green epic caterpillars in existence. Gary and team have one. I believe Big Dave has one, and the Texas boys have one. That's graded 8.5. Doesn't matter. Green on green, I will take a 5. I'll take a 4. Doesn't matter. So my gameplay was to send Tom to Texas to work out a deal to get me that slabbed caterpillar. It's always been the deal. It's always been the plan. So then Peter tagged me in that last night, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, it's only $200, which, by the way, I found out he was selling it on Discord for $140, so my heart broke a little bit. But that's a story we'll save for later. So I was like, oh my gosh, Rob, look, there's this caterpillar for $200. And I was like heartbroken because I'm taking my girlfriend out next weekend. I got a hotel for downtown Charleston, and every year I get a hotel for her. And I take her out for the night for her birthday. So there's that coming up. Plus, like, VCon's really expensive. Rob's going out to LA for 5 days or whatever it is. Plus, I might go to National. Then, and we just had the kids' birthday parties, which was over $1,000. Don't even want to talk about that. Anyways, we're just in like a tight spot. And so I was like, oh, this stinks that this comes up now because I thought it was a great price and whatever. So I sent it to Rob. This is a long story. And then, I think a couple hours go by. I kind of forget about it because I was heartbroken. So I was like, let's move on. I was like, someone's going to pick it up. Probably Big Dave. And then we put the kids to bed and we're sitting on the couch. And Rob's like, oh, that caterpillar's not listed anymore. And I was like, what? Someone snagged it already? And I was heartbroken. And I clicked on it and it was like sold and the 200 was crossed out. And I was like, no, I was so upset. I was like, this is awful. I was like, this is the worst day. I was like, I could have tried to make the money. I was so sad. And then Rob texted me. We're sitting right next to each other, but this is what we do. He texted me the shipped. He texted me a picture of it. It said shipped. And I just looked at him and I was like, what? He goes, yeah. And I was like, no. I was like, we don't have the money for this. What are you doing? So he bought it. He put in an offer for $170 and it was accepted, even though I found out the guy was selling it on Discord for $140. But whatever. I thought $200 was a great deal, so I'm not going to complain. So we did get the Happy Caterpillar, and I'm so excited. So now I have to go after the Texas Boys for their insert because they bought the Caterpillar insert from Josh. Because I think Josh wanted like 5 something for it, which makes sense. Maybe it was even more. I don't know. But I just couldn't. It wasn't something I could afford. And I slept on it for way too long. And the Texas Boys bought it. And I didn't know they bought it because I reached out to Josh a couple weeks ago. And I was like, hey, Josh, any chance you still have that insert sitting around? He goes, no, I'm sorry. And I was like, damn it. I didn't ask him who he sold it to. And then in one of their videos, which I had to stalk because Tom is having me, it's not out yet, make a video of some of their content. We'll get into that later. But so I had to like comb through all of the Texas Boys content. And I noticed the insert is sitting on their shelf. So now I have to try to convince the Texas Boys to let me get the Caterpillar insert. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. Look who it is. Mr. Clean.
I'm done. I got to go. This was fun. Thank you all. Chelsea, you want me to finish up?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good one.